I'm here at Mount Baldy, where in the last 6 months, multiple hikers have died, and there have been multiple reports of Bigfoot. Now, do those have anything to do with each other? I'm not sure, but I guess we'll find out now that we're here.
3 hikers in 2 separate incidents have been found dead on the mountain. One of those victims reportedly fell around 500 feet. Our Scott Reif is live overhead in Air 7 with more. Scott.
Yeah, Roy, what a sad story, and it shows you how dangerous it is to hike here in Mount Baldy with the high winds that we had yesterday.
On Christmas Eve last year, 3 hikers were found dead at Mount Baldy after a report that a 19-year-old fell roughly 500 feet near Devil's Backbone. An aerial search was made for the young man, currently a freshman at Santa Clara University. They unfortunately did discover his deceased body, but the odd thing is, 2 other deceased bodies were found in very close proximity, but were in a completely unrelated accident. The culprit of these tragic accidents was most likely extreme weather conditions, as Mount Baldy is already considered a pretty dangerous hike during winter season. But the wind during this specific time period was labeled by rescuers as particularly severe and harsh. So much so that following the news of the tragic events, the trails at Mount Baldy were closed for over a week to prevent any other unfortunate accidents. This incident had occurred at a particularly bad time for the residents of Mount Baldy and all the business owners there, as the summit had actually just recently opened, after it was closed for an entire year due to the forest bridge fires in 2024 that destroyed many homes and burned almost 50,000 acres. Unfortunately, this is not a one-off occurrence, as many people have lost their lives at Mount Baldy over the years. One notable person being famous actor Julian Sands, who lost his life in 2023 while hiking Mount Baldy. Sands was an avid and experienced hiker who had climbed Mount Baldy in the past, with his brother saying it was his favorite place and that he had hiked it close to 200 times. In January of 2023, Sands was reported missing after not returning from his hike, and despite search efforts, he was missing for months. That was until hikers discovered his remains 5 months later that were positively ID'd as being Mr. Sands. Maybe even more strange is that one of the hikers who discovered his body had mentioned his disappearance earlier in the day, and that she had really hoped they wouldn't stumble upon his body while on their hike. Between 2016 to 2025, 23 fatalities were recorded at Mount Baldy, and in 2020, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department publicly urged the U.S. Forest Service to close all summit trails up Mount Baldy during the winter season. However, the U.S. Forest Service denied this proposition. So we've established that Mount Baldy is a pretty dangerous hike that has taken many lives, mainly during winter seasons. But didn't I mention something about recent reports of Bigfoot? Yep, I sure did. In 2009, multiple campers at the Mankers Flats campground reported hearing screams during the night. And in 2010, multiple hikers claimed to see an abnormally tall figure standing on the ridge of Devil's Backbone. If you guys were paying attention earlier, that's where the 19-year-old unfortunately lost his life last year. Even more notable, though, multiple sightings have been reported in late 2025 to the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, or BFRO for short, with one account in September having an audio recording that was reviewed and vouched by Matt Moneymaker, or otherwise known as the main dude from the Finding Bigfoot show. It should be noted that the audio that was recorded hasn't been released to the public yet.
I don't know if you guys can hear all the critters around me, but okay, you guys can definitely hear that, but it is pretty cool. You take a 20-minute drive up from Upland, and it basically feels like you're in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, look at this. This is crazy. I would think if you told me where I was at right now, I was maybe 30 minutes out from Portland, not in Southern California. So I'm actually outside of the Mount Baldy Church. It seems like churches have been a pretty reoccurring theme in my videos. If you guys have any deets on some abandoned churches, that'd be pretty cool. I might want to check that out. But yeah, here's the Mount Baldy Church. Okay, so my bad, not a waterfall, but a really nice river. It's probably so clean considering we're right by the mountain. Probably drink from that if you wanted to be honest. And like I said earlier, just crazy views here. It's definitely reminding me of Pacific Northwest. But, you know, I kind of had a pretty fair amount of skepticism about the claims of a Bigfoot being here. But then, when you see environments like this, kind of like, well, maybe it's truly not that crazy. I mean, especially considering we're in May here, you know, I'm not shooting this in like, I don't know, January or February. But yeah, man, it's just beautiful here. So, while I would like to walk around and just keep showing you guys more of the beautiful scenery, we have a Bigfoot to catch, and it's also getting pretty dark soon, and I don't know what the drive up higher is going to be like. And it also might start raining, like, any second. So, without further ado, let's go up there. I mean, yeah, this is beautiful. Just look at this, guys. Look at how thick that layer of fog is. That's crazy. Yes, a very welcoming bathroom. Alright guys, I don't know if you can tell, but the visibility up here isn't amazing right now, as we are like deeply entrenched in the fog currently. So we'll see how that affects the overall investigation. Yeah, so just in case you guys thought I was kidding, I literally can't see in front of the fucking car. So, and this is what I'm supposed to go walk around in right now. Well, we'll see how things go. Yeah, so unfortunately that wasn't fucking happening. That was the worst fog I've ever seen in my whole life. I literally almost started having a panic attack because I couldn't see like the front end of the car. I literally couldn't see in front of my own car. Like I'm honestly just glad there wasn't like another car coming up or down like as I was like at the top, because like I would have like drove into them. I mean, just for reference, there was like this parking spot I was gonna go to. I was gonna go park there and then walk around and get footage. Don't know how to do that. There's literally just fog everywhere. All you guys would just see is fog. So I don't know. But I'm going for the parking, and I literally can't see the sign for it because there's so much fog. And I was using like Google Maps on my phone, just still couldn't see it because there's so much fog. Couldn't see a turnout. Didn't see a parking sign anywhere. Dude, this like the environment up here is like so crazy. And then like it's like raining and stuff on top of that. I don't know if you can hear, but my windshield wipers are going. I 100% see why it's dangerous. The weather conditions here are insane, and it's May. Once again, it is not December. These guys are hiking up this in December. I could only imagine what it's like. Obviously, it's not fog, but just in terms of snow and wind and the visibility and everything else, insane. Don't know how people are doing that. Okay, that's for one. Two, I could totally see how a very large, hairy bipedal creature is living up here, considering I'm struggling to even get up here in a car. So, this is at a little trail near the bottom called Horse Ice Canyon, or Ice Horse Canyon, something like that. And yeah, there's nothing but fog around me, and we're about like, I don't know, maybe 1,000 feet of elevation less than where I was at. I literally had this completely surrounding me. Like, I would not be able to see that car over there. Just to top it off, just to make things a little extra interesting, I get this notification on my phone that it's about to start snowing up here. I guess that's the video. I don't know, guys.